All right, class, I know some of you guys had problem with the Excel. Well, I'm going to give you a short tutorial starting with the personal budget instructions. And I'm not going to do the whole project. I'm just going to skip around and give you some examples of how to do some of the things in there if you're not accustomed to Excel. And I will admit, yeah, learning Excel over the online is not easy. So when we look at this at the layout of Excel, this is a workbook, the whole thing. At the bottom, you have worksheets. One is a summary, monthly income, monthly expenses, and monthly savings. If you're looking at your instructions, the personal budget instructions, like I said, if you look at 3A, it's talking about how to do the fields, F-I-L-L, field. So if you look at it, says what, sheet 1, row 1, fill white, background 1, 50%. So what you do, you go up here, I'm going to select, this is a row. If you're not familiar with Excel, going across horizontally are rows. The rows are numbered. Vertical, going up and down, are columns. Columns are letters. And where numbers and letters intersect, that is a cell. For instance, right here, this is cell B4. It's column B, row 4. Just a quick background. If you ever forget where you are, if you look up here in the top corner, you see that says what, B6? That tells you what cell you're in. Okay, so we're going to go to row 1. If I go to the outside over here and I select that, you see my little cursor turns to a hand, that selected the entire row. And it says what, fill with white, background 1, 50%. So I come up to my menu in the font group. When I click on my fields, over here is white. Now, if you don't know what colors are, if you just let your cursor hover over it, it'll pop it up. You see, that's white, background 1. So I'm going to scroll down to white. What did it say? Background 1 and 50%. So that's the one I'm going to use. And I click on that, and there you see. Now I've just changed my budget row to white, background 1, 50%. Now I can do the same thing with the tab down here at the bottom on that sheet. If I right click, just hit the right click on my mouse, and it says tab color, and you see it brings up the same thing. So I come to the side, and if you just wait, put your mouse over it, be patient, and wait, you see it pops up, white background, and I do the same thing, 50%. So now I've colored both of these with the color. Okay, does that make sense? Of course it does. I know you guys are tracking right along. All right, let's look at something else. Let's go to on our instructions number 4. It says what? Rename sheet 1 to summary. Well, I've already done that, and this one I've probably playing around with it. I'm going to rename it to something else. I'm going to rename it to back to sheet 1. And how did I do that? Well, pretty simple. If I right click, I go up, and it says rename. Click rename, and I'll make it sheet 1 again. Oops. It helps to not to put that little accent in there. There we go, sheet 1. And you see the name changed to sheet 1. If I want to change it back to summary, I can right click. Like any other Microsoft product, you can do the same thing multiple ways. So if I double click inside of that, you see it opens up the same window. And now I can delete sheet 1 and rename it summary. So that's how you rename tabs. What else we got? Let's go down to number 6. Number 6. It says Format Painter. Now, if you're not accustomed to Microsoft products, this Format Painter, this is the lifesaver of all lifesavers, the Format Painter. What it will do, it will capture the format of text that you have in one place, and then you can go over and paint that to where you can bring that whole style somewhere else in your document. That Format Painter is in Word, it's in PowerPoint, as well as is here in Excel. Let's see how that works. So number 6 says Format Painter. We're going to copy from sheet 3 of cell B2 to all the other worksheet headers. Now I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to go to sheet. Now, I think some of you guys also got confused here. If you don't rename a sheet, it comes up sheet 1. It will automatically be sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. So if I wanted to add a new sheet, you see they keep coming up by those numbers. It does that sequentially. I'm going to delete those. Okay. And I'm going to delete sheet 2. And I just right click to do that. So when you're looking at what you got here, summary is sheet 1. Monthly income is sheet 2. Monthly expenses is sheet 3. And monthly savings is sheet 4. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to sheet 3. 1, 2, 3. Monthly expenses. Now, what we're going to do is go to B2. We want to make everything else to look like B. And in B2, you see we've got this word monthly expenses. So to do this format painter, excuse me, you go to where you want it to be first. So I'm going to go to B2 in summary. And you see I'm going to put I clicked on that. You see the little green box. So now leave that there. Now we're going to go to sheet 3, I'm sorry, B2, click there, and now go up, click this thing called Format Painter. Click it, you see the little dancing boxes around that. Now we're going to go back to Summary, sheet 1, and where I am right there, you see that? Boom, it automatically changed the format to look like what was in sheet 2. I'm going to do another one of these. All right, this time I'm going to use B3. Okay, so I'm going to paint B3 over here. I want I'm going to go to C3. I'm going to make this summary look like what's in B3 on sheet 2. So the first thing I do, I went to summary and I clicked on that box, summary, right? Go back over here, put my box, or select that cell that has the font and the colors that I like. Click Format Painter, come back to Summary, and you see it automatically changed it. So that's how you use the Format Painter. All right, what else? Some other things you may be having problems with. Oh, adjusting cell widths and column widths. Let's look at 8B, column width. Says 8B on your instruction sheet says adjust column width of each worksheet column A to 21 pixels. Okay, so let's go to summary first. Here's column A. Now, watch the cursor, because this cursor changes about 5 or 6 different times depending on what you want to do. So when I go up here to the top, you see it turn from the arrow to a little hand. Well, now as I come across, and you see where A and B meet, it turns to like a little plus sign with arrows on it. Okay, so now just click, just be sure to turn to that, hold down your mouse, your left mouse button, and you see what pops up? It says width, 8.3 points or 64 pixels. So, and this is done in pixels. So in 8B, it says to do what? 21 pixels. Column A. So I'm going to bring this to slide, hold the mouse down and slide it over until I get to 21 pixels. There. Just make column A 21. Let's say if we want to make column D, here's D, 100 pixels. See, there we go, 100. That's how you open up the column. And it works the same way with the rows. If I come down on a row, like say between 9 and 10, when I click, same thing. You see 20 pixels, 15 points. So I can make row 9, I don't know, whatever one. Let's say 60 pixels. There. Just opening up that wide. So that's what that is talking about there, how to change the row width. All right, let's see. Let's go down to number 12. Number 12. Now we got to get into some of the formulas. This is the fun part. Okay, so the instruction says what? Sheet 1, on sheet 1, go back to summary, which is sheet 1, and D4, we're going to go into D4. Now, I've already got some of these, I've already done these once. And so let me delete some of this stuff out of here first, so I can walk you through the formulas. So you see I'm in D4, right? D4. Column D, row 4. And all I'm going to do is type what it says in here. Now, here's what you're actually doing. So whenever you're using Excel, if you're going to insert a formula, you have to start off with some type of arithmetic sign. For most of us, you just get a habit of using the equal sign. So when you if I just start typing in here, Excel is going to think that this is just text. And even if I put numbers, it doesn't matter. It's going to think that it's text. But when if my first character is a minus sign, a plus sign, an equal sign, a divide sign, it's going to know that now it's going to look for a formula. So when I put an equal, that automatically puts Excel into the formula mode. So now equal, and we'll do sum, S-U-M. Now what the sum does, it's going to sum or add together what comes next. So that's why I put parentheses. Now, what it's going to say now, M-O-N, monthly, if I can spell, L-Y, income. So it's saying, it's telling this formula is saying, Excel, go to the worksheet, monthly income, and while you're there, that's what those two little half quotation mark, that tells it what worksheet to go look for the data that it's going to sum together. And we're going to sum what's in C4 through C6. And I close the parentheses. All right, that's what just got summed. So take a look at the formula. So now it says we're going to go to monthly income. Let me just go to monthly income and show you what we got. So if I go to monthly income and I look at C4, right? C4. That's C4 right there. And C4 is 3,900, C5, 75, C6. So my formula in summary says to add together everything in the range of C4, and the colon, it says that means the range. So from C4 to C6 is going to be summed together. Now, I could have done this another way too. There's many ways you could do this. I could have added them together without using the sum. But I don't want to confuse you guys, so I want you to be sure you make it through the assignment. Now, I'm just going to make up some numbers to go in here, you know. That's too big of a number. And my monthly savings is whatever. And you see this changed over here? And we're going to discuss that in a minute. So now, let's say this doesn't look like money, does it? No, it doesn't. So we can format this column to make it look like money. So what I do, I go up to the top and I select that column. Now I come over here under the number group and I just select that dollar sign. And I want English, US money. Yes, show me the money. Show me the money. And you see instantly it formatted everything to dollars. Okay, so now let's go down to what? Number 19 on the budget, on your personal budget instructions. All right, so in sheet 1, we're going to go to B4, okay? And while we're in B4, what it says do? Calculate the percentage of income spent. So now you got to think about this for a second. Income spent is going to be your expenses plus your savings. And you know, to get a percentage, you know, it's got to be a ratio. So that's going to be divided by the income. So what I get? So I got my columns here: total monthly income, total monthly expenses, total monthly savings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my expenses. Now I'm not going to add these numbers. What I'm going to put in here is the sale location to build my formula. So this expenses is in what? D5. And savings is in D6. And I'm going to divide that by my income, which is D4. All right, so remember those. So I'm going to go over here to B4 again. And I got to do a formula, right? So I'll go up to my insertion bar, and I put equal. That's what tells Excel that we're going to do a formula. So, and I'm going to say put a parentheses because this is like regular math. It's going to be an expression. So to make this expression, so I'm going to say D, and I want to divide I want to add my expenses plus my income. Expenses again was D5. So D5 plus, and my savings, which is D6. Now you see I did this two ways. First one I typed in, the next one I just took my cursor and clicked on that box, and it automatically put D6 in. And I want to close the parentheses. And I'm going to divide. To do the divide, you do the divide sign, the backslash. I'm going to divide it by what? Income. And income is D4. So I click D4, and that should be my formula. Let's see what we get. I hit enter. So 20. Now, this looks like dollars. I don't want dollars, do I? I want percentage. So the same thing. I want to format this into a percentage, this column. So I select the B, and I go over. You see the big percent sign? Make it percent. So that gives you an idea of the percent of my income spent. 22% of my income, total income spent. 22.55%, 55%. Okay, I hope that helped you guys out somewhat. Just to kind of give you a quick tutorial on how to walk, how to navigate through Excel, and hopefully now with this, and I gave you the solution so you know what it should look like. That maybe hopefully you can get this particular assignment done. All right. Thanks a lot. Let me know if you have any questions.